Yo, what's good, family? It's your boy, Demond up in the building. We Talks TV. We Talk Hawks daily. Let's listen to Bobby Marks and let's get some reaction and give you my thoughts on what he's saying about what the Hawks should do this off season. Let's check him out.
Thursday out there. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, watching in the NFL draft.
Let's
For
skip that.
Sacramento in a salary dump. I know you recouped one of those. It feels like there was about 3 or 4 different seasons tied up in one. You went
Okay, here
from
we
the
go.
Murray trade
hmm
in July. He basically won all in with draft picks. You traded Kevin Herter to Sacramento in a salary dump. I know you recouped one of those.
You heard what he said? We traded Kevin Hurt on the salary dump. If you go back, as soon as we made that trade, I said that from the beginning. I said trading Kevin Herter was a salary move to save money. People was telling me, no, we was trading him to get better. No, that's not it. It was all to save money.
those draft picks back from the Kings that's protected next year in 2024. We'll go into the draft picks a little bit here. Um, Travis Schlenk is out as GM. Landry Fields is in. Nate McMillan is out as head coach. Quinn Snyder is in at the All-Star break. So for me, I'm looking at from the All-Star break on as far as where this roster is. I'm looking at it for Quinn Snyder, basically looking at it as an audition for who he is going to coach into the future, who stays and who goes. Offensive efficiency went from 11 to 4, number 4 under Snyder. Defensive efficiency stayed in the bottom 10, right?
Mhm.
So that's kind of
Facts.
who you are. That's your personnel.
Facts. Facts. We know Quinn Snyder is good, is a good offensive minded coach. How do we know that? We can go back and look at his time under the Utah Jazz. At one point, he had the Utah Jazz as his number one offensive rated team in the NBA. At the same time, he had also had the Utah Jazz, the number 9 team in defensive rating. So, as you can see, we're the bottom half of defensive rating. We've been at the bottom 10 for a hot minute. Last year we was 26. So that's bottom 6. So excuse me, that's bottom 5. So he's gonna have his work cut out for him. Granted, in Utah, he did have Rudy Gobert to anchor his defense.
The $1,000,000 question, and that's everyone's going to want to know: can the backcourt of Trae Young and Dejounte Murray coexist? And Atlanta's going to have to figure that out soon because Murray's going into the last year of his contract. He is extension eligible. I would say it's highly, highly unlikely that he is going to sign an extension.
And we already knew this as diehard fans. We already knew this. Of course, Murray's not going to sign the extension. Why would he? Why would he? Going into the last year of his deal, he may have a breakout season, and he's unrestricted. So if I'm his agent, I would tell him, no, we're not signing nothing unless, hell, even if the Hawks offer him max money, if I'm his agent, I'm telling Murray, no, we're not going to take it because we're going to wait to the end of the season because Murray has all the leverage over us. So if I'm Murray, I'm waiting to the end of the season to see, one, how my season goes, and two, are there better teams out there? Depending on what Murray want to do. Does Murray want the big payday or does he want to win? Okay, he could get max money from us, but we can't guarantee him a trip to the finals, a trip to the Eastern Conference. Hell, we can't even guarantee a top 4 placing in the Eastern Conference. You know, we could offer him, like, his max is 40. Somebody could come through, say he has an awesome season. Somebody could come through and say, hey, we can't give you 40. We can give you 30, 30, 33, 35. But what we can promise you is we're a top 4 team in the East. We were last year. So, I mean, yeah, Murray not going to sign that deal because he has all the leverage.
He shouldn't. And I'm going to go into why he shouldn't. But that is probably the $1,000,000 question as far as from the roster standpoint, the state of the roster here. Trey's got $178 million. It's hard for me to think that all of a sudden they're going to pick Dejounte Murray over Trae Young. Who knows, right?
Now, he's talking about money. He's not talking about You know, Trey is our superstar player, star player, whatever you consider him. We don't put Dejounte Murray over him, but you know, when it comes to NBA salaries, when you're dealing with two, let's say it's two-star players. So let's use an example of because I know some people don't consider Murray a star. So let's consider Jaylen Brown and Tatum, right? It all depends on the timing of your contract. Okay, Tatum Tatum signs first, and then Brown comes up for a contract 2 years later. Brown gonna get more money, not because they think he's better. It's just the timing of the contract. You see what I'm saying? It's all about timing of the contract.
Right? But we're going to find a lot about, as far as if those two can coexist. Um, Regular season minutes, 352 minutes when the two shared the court under Quinn, a minus 7.6 net efficiency, a minus an 111.7 offensive rating. For comparison, only 5 teams had a worse rating. So
Now you hear what he's talking about right there. You see what he's talking about. We're a negative net rating with both of them on the court. Why? Because Trae Young is not. He's a terrible on-ball defender, and Dejounte Murray gambles too much on the defensive side of the ball. Gamble meaning going for steals and whatnot, which causes which puts stress on the front court. On your and you can't count your small forward because that's usually Hunter, and Hunter's usually trying to guard the other team's best player. So that puts more stress on Capella and Collins on the back end. That's the main issue with our defense are the two guards.
I think you saw a little bit in that game 5 when Murray was suspended and Trae Young was out there. Sometimes he's worked better without him. So they'll have to figure it out. Finances, not good, kids. Not good at all.
Now, if you've been following this channel, you already know what I've been speaking on our cap situation. I've told you the front office, including the owner, Tony Ressler, has jacked up all the hard work that Travis did clearing cap space, when we was getting rid of Sapp, when we was getting rid of all our older players to make room. All that is going to waste now because of bad front office moves, with contracts for players who haven't panned out to be who we thought they was going to be. Not counting Trey, because Trey, obviously, he's our best player. You got to pay your best player. And I mean, on the business side, it makes sense. 200 million. Tony Ressler has already tripled that. Probably triple that, really, because remember, Trae Young was the 5th pick in the draft. So Trae Young was probably making over his first 4 years, let's say around 20, 25 million. Tony Ressler made that back within the first year. Second year, definitely made this year with all the merchandise, 39 out of 41 sold out home games. So Trae Young has definitely gave Tony Ressler a good ROI on his investment, but as far as fans and wins, it's not working.
The Bogdanovic extension, 4 for 68, all but guarantees that this Atlanta team is a tax team.
You hear that? We're a tax team. I was complaining. Why are you giving Bogdanovic an extension? Why are you giving DeAndre Hunter an extension? Now look at the situation. Now we're a tax team next year, which does what? We're a tax team, but we can only win 41 games. Excuse me. We can only win 41 games. So what's that telling you as a fan? That should be telling you, especially if you're looking at from the money standpoint, that 41 and 41, you can go 41 and 41 with a non-tax team. We all know that. So now we got to start clearing space. We're going to have to start clearing space. Now, Tony Russell said he don't mind going into the tax, but he's not going into the tax for a 41 and 41 first round exit team. It's not going to happen.
They're right at the tax threshold. And then they have an additional $12 million in non-guaranteed salary. Bruno Fernando, Garrison Matthews, Tyrese Martin, including their first round pick. So you add that up, you get $174 million. You go over the first apron, You're only $5.5 million below the second apron. Tony Russ.
You hear what he said? Currently, we will be already over the first apron of the luxury tax, 5 million below. And he not even speaking on the other extensions that you got to make. Are you going to extend Dejounte Murray? Are you going to extend Onyeka Okongwu? You see what I'm saying? Like we're the front office, including Tony Russell, because he's had a say on this, has destroyed us financially. Destroyed us. We have no way to make moves to drastically improve the team, and that's why you keep hearing me say in all the shows, in the post game lives, the best thing we can hope for to give us the biggest improvement is a jump from Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu, and a semi because last year was just his rookie season in AJ Griffin. We're not in the position. We're not going to make no big splash free agency. Honestly, it ain't really nobody out there available anyway for 2023 free agent class that I would give up anything for anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now you already know heads got to roll because we already know he's going to try to get below that tax, which means what, guys? Whoever we trade, whether it's Collins, whether it's Capella, whether it's Bogey, anybody we trade, Murray, even if you think about trading Murray, guess what's going to happen, guys? We will take a L on the deals. We are taking L. We're going to take L's on these contracts. We're not going to get, we'll be lucky if we can get pennies on the dollar for Dejounte Murray, pennies on the dollar for John Collins. And what's probably going to happen is we're going to sit here as Hawks fans and watch these players that we trade away, like we did Kevin Huerter to save money, perform outstanding somewhere else. Let's continue.
Wrestler, their owner, has never paid the luxury tax. Okay. And that brings us to the.
Let me repeat that for you. Let's repeat that real quick. Listen what he just said.
Below the second apron, Tony Wrestler, their owner, has never paid the luxury tax.
Never paid the luxury tax. What makes you think he's going to pay it now for a 41-41 first round exit team? Now you see why I be so upset when people want to speak about Dejounte. That show you that the front office have no, whoever approved that trade. We know it wasn't Travis Link. So the front office, whoever approved his trade, whoever convinced the owner to sign off on the trade need to be fired. Needs to be fired. Whoever gave Bogey that contract extension needs to be fired. Whoever gave Clint Capella the contract extension need to be fired. We can't fire the person who gave Collins the extension because we know it was the owner. So like I was saying, fans, family, be prepared for us to make moves to get under the tax. Be prepared to take a step back talent-wise, probably record-wise also. Let's continue.
Okay. And that brings us to the top front office priority. Okay. The new CBA is going to force this Atlanta team to get their house in order, to get their finances in order. And here's why. Of course, this upcoming year, the goal is certainly to be under the luxury tax, right? So what does that mean? That means that for probably the 9th year in a row, we're probably talking about the future of John Collins, right? It feels like we've talked about him every offseason since he's signed that extension at the trade deadline. Collins, hey, he signed that 5 for 125. He's got $79 million left, $25 million hit. If there's a guy that's not going to be here, John Collins is probably going to be the guy, and that probably gets you under the luxury tax. Now, here's the big thing. For 2024-25, you are the Hawks currently at $145 million in salary. And that doesn't include a new contract from Murray. So let's just say 30. Onyeka Okongwu, let's say 15. And Saddiq Bey, 15. So 15, 15, 30 gets you to 60 plus 145. You carry the 5, 205. That gets you into the second 8.
Do you hear what he just said? Do you hear what he just said, family? Now you see why I be trying to explain to y'all how the front office has ruined us financially, has put us in a position to where we're gonna have to take a major step back, talent wise. Did you hear what he just said? Extend. You got a. Like it's gonna be some hard decisions being made, man. We gonna have to lose players that we like, which, and like I try to explain to people, you lose Murray, Collins. If I'm Trae Young, why I'm not asking for a trade? Why, if I'm Trae Young going into year 7, year 8, do I want to be on a team and we just win it? We hopefully gonna play 500 ball. I don't think coaching is going to be good enough to offset the losses we're going to have to take to get under the tax. Because Tony Ressler has never paid the luxury tax. So we already know, we can assume logically he's not going to pay it now. So if you Trae Young and you see Collins leave, Murray leave, Sadiq Bey leave because the owner want to be under the tax, why Trae Young not asking for a trade? Think about that. If you Trae Young and your goal is to be one of the greats, to compete for championships, and you going in year 7, next year's year 6, year 7, and you see the team getting worse talent-wise because the owner want to save some money, why you not asking for a trade? I wouldn't even be mad if he asked for a trade. I'd be like, I can't even blame him. Do I want to lose Trae Young? Hell no. But y'all heard what Bobby Marks, I'm telling you guys, y'all, and that's why I said you need people in the front office who forward thinking. We reacting. Our front office, all they do is react. You're going to lose Sadiq Bey that you gave up 5 second-round picks for. So we had the potential of losing Bey. This is potential. Not saying it's going to happen. Bey, Okongwu, and Murray, because the owner don't want to pay the tax. Which then you thinking, I don't even blame them because the team, we got these players now. We just a 41-41 team, but you losing. Kongwu was the number 6 pick overall. Bey, you gave up 5 second-round picks. Murray, you gave up 3 unprotected first, and 1 is a pick swap. That's how much the potential. That's how much you're gonna lose just to get the books right, so the owner don't pay the luxury tax. I mean, don't pay the first level or second level luxury tax. Think about that, guys. Think about that. Let's continue.
So that is why they are going to need to get their house in order as far as this offseason, because you've got some big financial decisions coming down the pike with Murray, Bey, Okongwu. And that's why I think Collins is probably the odd guy out. Extension candidates to watch, and here we go with Murray, right? And I said the new CBA didn't do any favors to Murray in the Hawks. 4 for 114. That's the most he can sign. Starting salary at 25.5. That's basically $17 million less of a max contract. His max number is 42.
Do I think Murray is a max contract guy at 42? Hell no. Do I believe Murray is worth 4 at what's that? What do you say? 119? That'll put him around 25, 27 million per year. Yeah, I think he's worth that. I think he's worth that considering what we gave up to get him. But also, other teams can clear that cap space also and sign him outright. Especially if they're close, if they're a better chance of contending for a championship than we are. Think about that. Let's continue.
The max guy, and when you mortgage the future, sometimes you feel like you have to overpay. And here's the deal too. different front office regime. Just because you gave up a boatload of picks to San Antonio doesn't mean you have to feel forced to all of a sudden just throw out a lot of money at somebody if you don't feel like he fits. You can walk away. Like, that's the beauty of it. You can walk away and maybe move Murray to another team. And I know you weren't not going to recoup all those. It's like that movie Draft Day when you trade all those picks and then you get them all back at the end. Probably not going to happen here. So Murray's extension eligible.
So he said you can walk away. That's the beauty of it. This is the downside to walking away. You, besides losing the 3 first-round picks you gave up unprotected, what is Trae Young going to say? How's Trae Young going to feel when you mortgage the future to get him to help Trae Young because Trae Young wanted to play with Murray? So before you even think about walking away, you need to be talking to Trae Young. If I'm the GM, that's what I'm doing. Or president of basketball, I'm talking to Trae Young. I'm letting Trae Young know, hey, man, in order for us to get the books right, to get ready for the future, we're going to have to let Murray go. Maybe you can get a first. Unprotected? Probably not. 2 firsts? That's pushing it. A first and maybe a young player? Possibly. I don't know. But we already know we're not getting nothing close to what we gave up to get Dejounte Murray. We already know that. And like I said, once again, you need to clear that through Trae Young because you let Murray go, you don't get nothing in return, and the team regress. What makes you think Trae Young is not the next one out of here saying, hey, man, could y'all please trade me? This is year 7. I would like to, try to play for a championship. Let's continue.
I would say he is not signing an extension. 4 for $114. I don't believe he will sign that because the new CBA only gives you a 140% increase. You're limited still. Okongwu and Bay are extension eligible up until October 23rd. They can sign 5-year deals. Keep an eye on both of them. Atlanta has been aggressive with extensions. DeAndre Hunter, Trae Young, John Collins was not an extension. So keep an eye on your extension, guys. Clint Capella is also extension eligible as far as October 13th. Team needs defense. Ranked 29th in points, paint points allowed after February 28th, ahead of only the Pacers.
Y'all hear that? Ranked 29th in points given up in the paint. We know why. It's because of the guards. Because the guards, Trae and Murray, are not good defensively on ball, which allows penetration, which forces Capella, Okongwu, whoever the big, to rotate, which leaves his man open. I mean, it's pretty simple. If you've been following the team, it's nothing new. Bobby Marks ain't telling you nothing new. Okay. So this is what if I'm the GM, the first thing I'm doing before I make any moves, I'm gonna have a sit down with Trae Young. And you really legit probably need to have a good 2-year, 3-year plan on how you can dump salary and reload and be ready to compete for a championship 3 years from now in order to stop Trae Young from asking for a trade out of Atlanta. So hard decisions got to be made. I'm going to have to get off Collins. I don't want to, but I'm going to be real. You're going to have to get off. The thing is, man, the unknowns, Murray. You probably going to have a sit down, man, with Trae and say, hey, man, we looking at if Murray don't sign an extension with us before the trade deadline, we're going to have to get off of him. We're going to have to trade him, see what we can get for him. So you don't lose him for nothing. Maybe get a first, unprotected first, maybe unprotected first and a young player that's on like a rookie deal. You're going to have to get off Collins. No, get off of Capella. start a Kongwu, get off Capella, find you a backup big, maybe from the G League, somebody on a rookie deal. Hopefully JJ improves enough to where you are confident to get off Collins, JJ, and Bogey, and hope AJ can fill Bogey role as the sixth man, so you can get down off that money. If you get off Collins, let's see, a Conwoo's at like, let's say 20. Let's call it 20. He had 20. You extend a Conwoo, but his extension won't kick in until next year. So if you get off Capella this year, Conwoo with the sixth pick, I think he's making $6 million this year. I'm just spitballing off the top of my head, maybe between 4 to 6. You get off Capella this offseason, start a Conwoo, that'll save you what? $12 million. You get off Collins at 25. You start Jalen Johnson at the 4. That'll save you 25. Jalen Johnson, what, 19th pick, 15th pick, somewhere up in there. He making what, $2 million this year? That'll save you some more money. Get off Bogey's extension. Let AJ take that spot. That'll save you some more money right there. You can extend a Kongwu. And I'm thinking, do you keep Bay or not? Bay probably looking at between 15 and 20. But in my opinion, if you're going to clean house, you might as well clean house. Clean it all. Clear space for Murray. Talk to Trey. Talk to Murray. If Murray not... And even if Murray does sign an extension, you got to get... What's the number? He not getting $41 million. Hell no. Does he get 27? Does he settle for 27? You got to offer that. You got to make you're going to have to make a good offer to Murray because he's unrestricted. And it just really depends if Trey really want him. If you can get Trey to agree with getting off Murray and a minor setback for another year, then you let Murray go get a pick young player. If Trey say he really wants Murray, you got to come up with a good number. If Murray wants 30, anything over 30, you got to let him go. You got to move him. I'm sorry. And we just going to have to setback, but you're going to have to explain that to Trae Young because at the end of the day, you can't have Trae Young asking for a trade. You lose Trae Young, you pretty much need to blow the whole team up. That's how I see it. Hopefully, I don't know, man. Hard decisions got to be made, but this is what happens when you have an inexperienced front office. That's why Tony Ressler should have just let Travis Slink do his thing and stay out of the way. Travis Slink is the one why Collins getting 125. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at none of these players. If you offer me money, I'm gonna take it. And you also need, when you clear a house, you might want to see what you get for DeAndre Hunter, another person they signed to an extension early for no reason. Get off Hunter. Plug and play Tyrese Martin at the 3. I don't know. But decisions got to be made. Be prepared for a setback this season. I mean, Quinn, I don't care how good you can coach. At the end of the day, you need the talent. But that's all I got, family. It's your boy, Damon. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments about what we're discussing, about what moves we can make. Do we keep Murray? Do you let him go? Who would you keep? Who would you let go? And what would you tell Trae Young? What's your plan to tell Trae? Hey, bud. Hey, Trae. Hey, it ain't looking too good for next season. But we got a 2-year plan, a 3-year plan. Maybe see who's gonna be free agents in 24 and 25. You know what I'm saying? And clear that space. But that's all I got. And then Tony Ressler. I mean, bro, listen. We sold out 39 home games. Ain't nobody coming to see the Hawks if we ain't worth a damn. You feel me? So Tony Ressler gonna get it. The more he gonna try to save this money, but it's gonna hurt his pockets on the back end, on merchandise, on ticket sales. But it's your boy Damon up in the building, man. Y'all let me know what you think, man. Comment, like, subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Let me know how you feeling. It's gonna be hard times, guys. It's your boy. I'm out. Peace.